Hey guys, today we're talking Gaylord Opryland, Nashville, Tennessee. My thoughts on it, some advice on how to approach if you want to stay there, as well as maybe just visiting while you're in town. Throat's a little scratchy, sinuses, so I'm going to make my way through it. But hey, we went. It was a very nice experience. And I'll also link my video to the Nashville experience because we stayed at a different property. It's a Hotel Preston. And if you want to check that out, you can as well. It's close to the airport. But the Opryland, Gaylord, was only about maybe 10, 12 minutes away from where we were. So it's not a great distance. I have been to three different Gaylords. Number one, I've been multiple times to the Gaylord at the harbor in Washington, D.C. or in Virginia. You know, the states and the lines are all crossed. But it's at the D.C. harbor. Not as big as this particular resort. I was there for a conference, very big space. I mean, these spaces are huge. They're huge hotels, huge resorts. And I love the way they're themed. Within the hotel, you have all these different experiences in these different neighborhoods, if you will. And of course, if you go around the holiday, you get all these other different experiences. And one of the things that I love, and I think that people who go to the Gaylord actually love, is the quality of the rooms and the rooms inside facing with a balcony. Why is that important? Well, there's so many experiences that you can see, particularly during the holiday. If you have an inside facing room with a balcony, you can take advantage of just great views from your room, and it's almost like you're on a vacation just by sitting in your room. All right, so I've been to the DC Harbor and I've been to the one in Orlando. The Orlando one is massive. It actually has a gator show, an alligator show every day. Now, unless they stopped it, this is 2 or 3 years ago when I went, but it's massive as well. But the Gaylord here in Nashville, I want to say is probably bigger than either of those two. I know it's bigger than the one in DC. And the reason why I think it's bigger is because this one also has a swim component, like a water park attached to it. You can see the tunnels and the loops and all that stuff from outside of the park. So I want to cover a few things with you today in the event that you've never been, you're considering going, and you just maybe want to kind of know a little bit about the hotel. Full disclosure, I did not stay there. Again, I stayed at the Hotel Preston. If you want to check that out, it's another video. I only visited, I did the walkthrough, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I thought about it. Number one, it was very busy. There's a lot of people on property. The parking was bananas. I'd watched a video prior to me going, and the guy said, hey, it costs a whole lot just to come over here and walk around. Why don't you save your money and park across the street? Well, that sounds good in theory, but it was quite a distance from Cracker Barrel and some of these places across the street to walk. You have to walk across a small highway and then onto the property. It was $37, $38 or something like that to park. After walking there and back, I almost felt like, man, I should have just paid the $38 and just been closer to the resort. It's up to you. If I had to do it again, I'm definitely paying just to park because we were there for, an hour or two, walked around, then having to come back and walk all the way back to the car. It really wasn't worth it, but I appreciate the guy looking out. So the property is massive. You can see the water park from the side. The Opryland Gaylord is named obviously after the Opryland. You're in Nashville. You're talking about country music. It opened in 1977, and it has since grown into one of the largest non-casino hotels in the United States. The largest non-casino hotel. So the resort actually spans over 9 acres. So when you go inside, you're going to see these wonderful lush gardens and atriums and things like this. Very, very beautiful. The resort boasts 3 spectacular atriums. There's a Garden Conservatory, there is the Cascades, and there is the Delta. Okay, I'm going to try and get you footage for all of those so you can kind of get a feel for what they look like. And each of them are uniquely themed, and it has plants like you've never seen before. There's a riverboat. Yep, a riverboat, an actual working riverboat that goes around the river inside the hotel. The SoundWaves is the water park I was telling you about. It is an upscale indoor-outdoor type of situation. And yes, you have to pay to go. Do you have to stay at the hotel to go to SoundWaves? No. No, we saw plenty of people that were leaving that was leaving SoundWaves, and they were leaving because they just came. They took their kids to SoundWaves, and then they left. They were not visitors. They were not guests of the hotel. Entertainment, man. There was sports bars. There was restaurants. There was, I want to say, there was bowling. There was a lot going on. The resort is adjacent to the Grand Ole Opry. I think that's one of the selling points. It's adjacent to the Grand Ole Opry. This, of course, is the famous country singing or country music venue there in Nashville, and guests can easily attend shows at the Grand Ole Opry. Of course, it's a convention center. I said it has tons and tons and tons of convention space. I've attended conventions at the Gaylords before, and they don't lack for space. The seasonal events. This is on my bucket list. There's a Christmas event that happens at all of the Gaylords. I have seen the one in DC. I want to see the one in Orlando. It's like an ice type of situation. And the one in Nashville is called a Nashville Christmas. It is lights and ice sculptures and live shows. And the hotel or the resort itself is just this wonderland. And yes, guests, have access to it because you're staying in the hotel. But many people in the community come out and they want to see it, and they sell tickets separately to, go to the events. A couple little known facts. Inside the resort, there's a hidden gem. It's called a secret garden. It's in the area of the Garden Conservatory Atrium, and it offers these tranquil escapes and stunning photo opportunities. Now, I'll be honest with you. All of it seemed like a hidden gem to me because it was just as tranquil in one spot of the hotel as the next. Celebrity connections. The resort has hosted numerous celebrities and high profile events over the years, and people, of course, including presidential inaugurations and also music award shows. The resort's indoor gardens, they feature over 50,000 plants. I'm telling you guys, it's a ton of plants in there. And if nothing else, you just want to walk around and see the array of flora and fauna that are in this particular space. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, as far as cost, the average room rate at the Opryland Gaylord, depending on the time of year, it's going to be on the low end about $250, on the high end about $400 a night. These are standard rooms, either king or double queens. It depends on the season and availability, but it could exceed that. So just think on the low off-season $250, high summertime and things like that $400. Now, they do have suites and they do have premium rooms. Those start at about $500 and they go up to over $1,000 a night. I was telling you again about the SoundWaves. SoundWaves is a water park. The admission to SoundWaves is about $50 to $60 per person. It depends on the day and the time of year that you're coming. Okay, obviously, if you're coming in the summertime, then it's probably going to be more expensive. But what I like to do, I'm just going to kind of walk you through some of what I felt as I was going through the hotel. My initial impressions, I was very impressed. I was very impressed with the size of the property. I walked in through the valet area, through the front desk. Front desk was massive. It had a number of clerks, a number of customer service reps up at the front. It was a beautiful entry and lobby. It was representative of what this brand stands for, the Gaylord. And like I said, I've been to 3, and every time you walk through those front doors, you're at a very nice resort. And that's what Gaylord wants you to know. You're at a very large and a very nice resort. Immediately going through the lobby, we saw restaurants and bars, which if you're going to have a convention, if you've never been to a convention as a corporate individual, then as soon as the convention or the days are over, people flood right to the bars and right to the restaurants. And so at the front, there was one on the left of the boardwalk and one on the right. And they were beautiful. They were beautiful. And then as you can see up in the causeway, there are rooms. Again, the inside facing is your money. The inside facing rooms have balconies, and you can look over and people watch or just, scenery or greenery, whatever you want to do. You can sit out on your own balcony and have an experience in and of itself, which some people were doing. That to me is the whole advantage of the Gaylord. So since the centerpieces for this hotel seemed to be the greenery, the atriums, and the indoor gardens. Let me tell you a little bit more about those areas. So you had three. They are the Garden Conservatory Atrium, the Cascades Atrium, and the Delta Atrium. All of them are large. As a matter of fact, I walked out of one and I came around to a different door, and I thought I was just coming through a different area into the backside of that same one. But no, it was a completely different one. So the Garden Conservatory, it is the resort's most picturesque atrium. It features Victorian-style glass structures filled with tropical plants, flowers, and waterfalls. There are these really nice pathways, guys, where you can sit. There are waterfalls indoors. You can, man, just think about getting something to eat or a glass of wine after a long day and coming through those pathways. You're sitting next to the waterfalls and all this nice greenery around. You can just sit, with your special person, just kind of hang out or just sit by yourself. The secret garden is in this Garden Conservatory atrium, and it does offer, like they say, this escape and this, photo opportunities, of course, but just really a tranquil escape from your day. Even though you're in the middle of the hotel, it's like you're in the middle of a forest. Now, there's also the Cascades Atrium. This is named for its waterfalls. The Cascades Atrium provides a serene environment where there are just flowing waterfalls, a number of waterfalls, and of course, vibrant plant life. Now, the key features are the ponds and the ambiance, from the waterfalls, because you can just hear it all around. Now, there's a lower level and there's an upper level. You can just kind of walk and do your deal, and there's a couple stairs here, a bridge here, and then you kind of go up and you can look over into the garden. It's a really, really good experience. One of the things I noticed too is that within the atriums, even above the gardens, there are symbols of Nashville, music notes and keyboards and guitars, things that really make you think of music, and particularly country music. The last atrium is the Delta Atrium. So this is the largest of the atriums, and the Delta Atrium actually features a 1/4 mile long indoor river complete with a flatboat ride. Now, I actually saw this when I was there, and you'll see it here on the screen in just a second. There was a private event, so we couldn't go but so close. We went into this atrium, and I thought, is this the same atrium I was in before? But no, because there's a casita or a house over here, which was like a souvenir shop, or maybe you could get food from. And then all of a sudden I see this boat. I mean, it's big enough to have, I don't know, 4 rows of people, adults, going around this river indoors. So again, it tells you about the scope of this particular property. The key features: the river is surrounded by shops and restaurants and plant life. The Delta Island area offers unique dining and shopping experiences. The riverboat ride. So guests can take this scenic flatboat riverboat ride around the indoor river while learning about the resort's history and the features. It doesn't really say if there's a cost associated, but I got to imagine there's probably a cost associated. But I did see a number of folks on the boat, and it looked really relaxed. If you've ever been in San Antonio and you kind of see that downtown action, something very similar to that. Now, how many rooms do they have at the hotel? A lot. 2,800, as a matter of fact. The resort boasts over 2,800 guest rooms. This includes standard rooms, premium rooms, and also luxurious suites. The suites are a variety option. There are a number of options available. They offer additional space, of course, and additional luxury. So they can include executive suites, presidential suites, and garden terrace rooms. Now, restaurants, because here's the deal. Here's the thing I really love about Gaylords. It's one of those deals where you could just go and be there, and you don't really have to leave the property for entertainment, for food, and for, obviously your room and your stay, because they have a number of restaurants and shopping experiences. There are 19 different restaurants, cafes, and lounges throughout this particular property alone. 19. Did they have a Starbucks? Of course they had a Starbucks. Of course they did. You got a number of dining opportunities, and the palette kind of, runs the course from Italian to, of course, Southern because you're in Nashville. There's an American cafe, a Ravello, which is Italian, Jack Daniels, which is, of course, Southern inspired, Old Hickory Steakhouse, also Southern inspired, and then a Solaro Cantina, which is a Mexican restaurant. There are 13 different retail shops that offer goods, like souvenirs and gifts. Maybe you forgot something or you need aspirin or Gatorade. They got you covered. And of course, they've got branded clothing for you to take back and advertise for them on your next golf trip. If you want some shopping highlights, go to the Delta Marketplace. Their snacks, their beverages, their travel essentials. You can go to Little Switzerland, which is a boutique jewelry shop. There's watches and luxury accessories, yes, inside the hotel. And then there's spa. Of course, there's spa. So there's spa products and their beauty items and their wellness goods. And of course, you can make your reservations to be on someone's table there in the spa for a massage. Now, one of the things, again, that you'll notice in terms of entertainment is very close to the Grand Ole Opry. So if you're going there for a concert at Grand Ole Opry, maybe this is not a bad place to stay. You can walk over. SoundWaves, if you stay in the area or if you're coming in and you've got small kids or if you just a kid yourself, make sure you check out the indoor-outdoor water park. And then you've got meeting space. It was just so much, guys. It was so much. Again, I did not stay there. I did visit there. My advice to you, it is a great, great location. I don't think you can ever go wrong with Gaylord. The pros are, it's going to be a fantastic and immersive experience. Perhaps the con is it can get a little expensive. Okay, it can get a little expensive because you want to be there, more than one night. And the rooms, again, average right around about $350 a night in the middle. So low end $250, high end $400. You're going to be in that $325, $335 area plus tax. Just keep that into consideration. It's a lot to do on property. It's a beautiful, beautiful area, a beautiful resort. It's not far from the city center of Nashville. Like I said, I stayed close to the airport. It took me about 10 to 12 minutes to drive to this location. Not hard to find. You can see it from the freeway. So listen, I hope this has helped you to get a better idea of what the Opryland Gaylord in Nashville looks like. And if you're interested, you can reach out to us and maybe we can help you make a booking if that's somewhere where you want to go, or call the Opryland Gaylord directly yourself. Just go to their website and it will give you information that you need to know in terms of your dates and prices. Guys, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast, to the channel if you've not done so already. And please share and comment and do all that good stuff. Help the channel grow. Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon with another great video. Thanks.